Hey guys, here we are again with our secondary source resources. And there's an earlier video or another video that focused on InfoBase, particularly Bloom's literature. And today I'd like to focus on the Gale group. So this will be your password. And you'll click on the Gale group and type in unio_RPA. And then you'll get a screen that looks like this. Either one of these sites is worthwhile, but I'm only going to be focusing on this one. So you will click on Gale eBooks, and your next screen will look like this. And then you want to click on Poetry for Students. Obviously, we're not concerned right now with short stories. When I clicked on Poetry for Students, I typed in my author's name. I'm still working with Edwin Arlington Robinson. And as I scroll down, I find out that Robinson's name is only mentioned in this one. This is a poem by Amy Lowell, so that doesn't count. There's really only one hit on Robinson, and it deals with the poem Minerva. So I'm going to click on that. I have a very long article here, and once again, here's where your work comes in. You have to go through it, and it takes time, so be patient with yourself and be patient with the article. In this article, I'm scrolling down and all of a sudden I say, oh, this looks really intriguing. This looks really great, really worthwhile. This whole paragraph here, I might find something in this area that could work well with regard to a theme. So I look at this sentence. His best known poems, such as this one, Minerva, and Richard Cory, oh, that's the one I was just working with before, offer quick snapshots of the lives of individuals who are coping with despair, often hiding their misery from the world and from themselves. So I really like that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to make a note card for this. And remember what we mean when we say note card. A note card is the direct quote. Okay, so the note card is the direct quote from the piece. And since if we're following an order and you watch the other video from Bloom's literature and that had the number 1 in the corner, my note card now is going to have the number 2 in the corner because it's a whole different article. It's a whole different source. When I copy it down, oops. I continue scrolling down the article and I find even more worthwhile information. So I may want to make more than one note card for another idea. And that happens right here. I really like this idea in this section. Minerva is alienated from his own society. He doesn't understand the world he lives in and feels detached from others. I like that so much. I think I'm going to make another note card. I won't change the number in the corner though, because it's still coming from the same article. It's just a little lower down in the article. And so therefore, sorry about that. When I copy it down on a when I copy it down on an index card, it's going to look something like this. His best known poems, I'm using my ellipsis because I'm skipping a little bit, offer quick snapshots of the lives of individuals who are coping with despair, often hiding their misery from the world and from themselves. I put the word online in parentheses to hold the spot and a period. And just for my own edification, I'm putting in brackets with quotation marks MC for Minerva. I could also put RC because they mention Richard Cory as well. So if I forget what this comment might be referring to, I can always use this as my little guide. And notice again, I had the number 2. So forgive me if I go backwards in the slides, but I must have had them out of order. Let's allow me to around here, sorry. I make a note card for this one. Minerva is alienated from his own society. He doesn't understand the world he lives in and he feels detached from others. The word online, in parentheses, brackets, MC, same number, because these are note cards and they're coming from the same article. And so I could have multiple note cards from the same article. When it comes time now for me to make my source card, remember what that is. That's what you would put on your works cited page. So think of it as a bibliographic entry. Unlike Bloom's, where they had tabs at the top and all you had to do was click on the word citation, for this particular website, Poetry for Students, you just have to scroll to the very end of the article. When you get to the end, they will give you the citation. You're going to copy it word for word, except remember that you don't have to include all the funky stuff after the .com. But you do in fact have to include the accessed. So your source card would look like this. Copied it word for word, got rid of the funky stuff in here, finished up with the access date. This number 2 tells me where it originated from, and my other note cards that I have with any quotes on it will also have the same number. So for this particular exercise, notice I've got my source card right here, and I've got 2 note cards right here, both of which came from this article. So that is from the Gale Group, and that's from the Gale eBooks under Poetry for Students.